Hi there, my name is Thomas Lundgren and I'm the founder and doctor of The One. The concept and the strategy behind the company have always been to be the best furniture, or what we call it, home fashion store. And if you look at the business, you either sell feelings or you sell commodities. And that's in everything you do. We sell feelings. I want a company which you come in and you love. I love when the customer says, oh, The One, I love The One. To get that, you need to take care of your people. You need to have something that, I mean, when you're selling commodities, you're selling something very cheap, probably crap, and you sell it for nothing, and you don't really take care of your people. I want exactly the opposite. I want to be the best place to work for. I want you to come. You should always feel good when you're in our stores, and you should become friends with the people working here. Because I mean, when one day I'm going to die, obviously, and if I've left behind me this huge empire of stores, and people who works there are not happy, what have I achieved? Started with fame, it became home. It was actually Home Scandinavian Interiors for a short while. And then we were sitting, me and my wife and one of my two partners, and I had just been to New York for the first time. And we were looking at, and it was DKNY. It was on the wall on a building. It was the first company who done a car in New York. I thought it was so cool. I bought a mug with me and everything, and I loved that thing. So my wife said, you love shortening. So The Home, the T-H-E, it would be Thomas and Eva because her name is Eva, so we were laughing about that. And then T-H-E, Total Home Experience. And then my partner from Kuwait Sharky looked at me and he said, but you always, Thomas, talked about having numbers on your store. So the first, the second, the third. So we thought that was a great idea till we started to think, wait, how do you do the copyright and how do you do bags? How simple we thought of that. You can't, different logos. And then here we said The One. And in Arabic, El Awal, I think I pronounced it pretty okay, it's beautiful. So we started off and said, this is the only company who has a beautiful English and Arabic name. And when we opened in Abu Dhabi in '96 in September, we had actually both The One, El Awal. When we came to Dubai, they looked at the law and they said, you can't do that. It has to be either El Awal or The One, because it has to be exactly like which one you decide, basically, English or Arabic. El Awal, and I'm going to take over the world with it. I don't think that's going to work. So it became The One, and now it's The One in Arabic. I came here to Dubai in 1993. I was going to start a consultancy, and I'm the least consultant you can find in the world. And everything led to I started to look for money to start my own venture, which was going to be a department store. And it took 2 years. In the end, we got the money together. And I was in love with Jebel Ali Free Zone. That was new, and it was like, wow, if I had done something, I would, this is what I'm going to do. I would open up in Jebel Ali Free Zone. I would have a partner in Kuwait, and one in Saudi, and one here, and we would just take over the Middle East. This is 1993, so even the local people did actually, in the different countries, did actually not work over the borders. They were only in their own countries at that time. It's not like today. And they said, okay, you do it. And I said, yeah, what are you talking about? I don't have the money. And they said, we can help you. And that's how it started. Why did I want my own company? Because I want to be my own boss. I want basically to decide whatever I want to do. And I thought there were money here. So for 2 years I was running around with I had fake glasses, I had a fake, ugly tie. I was really trying to look older because everybody tapped me on the head and they said, little Thomas, how can you do this? And that was the whole thing they did the whole time. And there were people who actually believed in my idea, but they wanted me to be an employee, because why would a Swede coming to the Middle East and say, I want to do this and I want you to be an investor? This was very early on, and when we got the money and got up and running, we got half the money I wanted. And when we got up and running in '96 in September, I can tell you, when we opened the doors, there was not one customer. I thought people were going to flock to the store. There was no customers. So for 5.5 years, we were fighting to survive. So, but then we were in the right place when the boom came, and we were prepared for the boom. But we had 5.5 years before that we nearly was dead every summer, because in the summer in Dubai at that time, it was nobody here. I can write a book about mistakes, okay? I have no MBA, I have never gone to business school. I don't know if you should, but actually today I do. I go to Harvard every year. So I'm doing it the other way around. Learning by gut feel, by making mistakes, that's what we did. We have done every mistake you can think of. My business plan was not a business plan, it was some kind of dream put down on paper and marketing research. I didn't know what marketing, I had been in advertising, but that's a huge difference. So was it a business plan? I look at it sometimes, it's really funny, because every time when people said no to me, I would go back and write more, so it got thicker and thicker and thicker and thicker. Okay, I'm going to be totally controversial to everything that you hear when you do interviews. Number one, I don't believe in research, because I don't think anyone answers truthfully. You know, when someone, a customer or a potential customer gets a question, they will always tell you the bright side, the way they see themselves and hope they are. So for me, you know, all this kind of research is useless. You can do some research, of course you could. In my business, no, I don't think you can. I don't know what that would be. I mean, you could, of course, if I'm going to open up in New York or in London, I would look at the segment of people living in that area. Fair enough. I am doing that in Dubai today because Dubai is that big. If you're opening a store, is it a place, you know, retail is location, 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 location. So you can do that. So for example, you do a research, you go and ask a customer, what kind of lamps do you like? What would they tell you? They would tell you something they already know. They wouldn't tell you about something they don't know. Our job is to find cool stuff, create, design cool stuff that they have never seen before. Otherwise, you're in the commodity business. Did I have any skills? No, zero. Did I have, I had taste, I had a dream, and I had a drive. And I think that's important. You know, you must have a drive, something that wakes you up every morning and just keeps you going. It's what I've learned over the time. I had a skill set that I got people to dream my dream, but how to do it, that's something that takes 17 years. And today we have a fantastic machine that I dreamed about at that time, but it took 17 years. First of all, there was not enough people in Dubai, so it wasn't enough. In the summer, everybody left, because everybody, at that time, this was called a hardship place. So basically, everybody left. So in the summer, we had to collect the salaries, so we had them for the summer, before the summer, because there was no sale at all in the summer. So it was too little customers. There was not, you know, there wasn't any boom yet. There was no building, there was no construction. I mean, when the first things happened here, we were sitting and saying, wow, why would they do that? You know, that's too big, that's crazy. And then things started to move. So that was one of them. Second thing, cash. I mean, the second thing you really learn about is cash. Cash is king. I had no clue. I got help from a friend in KPMG who helped me to put together the financial part of the business plan, because I didn't know how to do that. And he said we should have weekly cash flow in the plan, so you can see how much cash you have every week. I fought with him, and we made quarterly in the end. And now when I meet him, I make fun of, we should have had daily one, because everything is cash. If you have cash, you can survive, and that's what we did the first 6 years. The thing you really need to learn if you're an entrepreneur is that you never ever stop answering the telephone. When they call you because they want money, the banks, whoever it is, you answer. And you tell them exactly how it is. You are truthfully, you tell them but you're going to fix it. Because as long as they believe that you're going to fix it, because they want the money back, they will be behind you. now we are all over the Middle East and North Africa we started, and we're going to continue doing that. And you know, you have a new boom happening right now. You know, you see that the next 5 years is going to be really interesting. It has to do with the politics, it has to do with the whole discussions in Iran, the Palestine-Israel discussion. And I think it's going to just get better. And Dubai is perfectly positioned for that. But also in a business that is, if you're looking at the recession when it happened here in 2008, 2009, half of the manufacturers died. Many of my competitors, which I don't think should have been in the business anyway, so I'm really happy for that, has gone. So there's a new challenge right now, and we're set for that one because we design nearly everything you see here. And the manufacturers today that you see there, they don't design things. And most of my competitors, they are what I call traders. They just go to fairs and buy things. And if they have nothing to buy, which they don't because there's nothing to see, or you know, there's very little to see, and they don't design the stores, they don't design the products, they don't think about themes or fashion like we do, then we have a great future because we have great people, whereby they have to restart how they work their business. So the future for us is great. It's just a question of how many stores we can open, how much wholesale we can do, and basically, and then do it on that same quality level, because that's the biggest problem. You know, we have some amazing stores. So 3 years ago, we had some of the best stores in the world, but we also had some stores that wasn't that good. Today, they are all on the same level. And that's a lot of work. That's a machine. That is the management. So we have a lot of management training, and we have managers training managers, because a good leader is not just training managers. A good leader makes leaders of their people. That's what I'm trying to get all my people to do. Cash, 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 cash. You need to be sure that you're crazy enough to withstand whatever happens, because it's you know, I am an optimist. I was going to be profitable within 1 year. My people who put money into me thought, okay, let's say 3 years. I mean, in Europe, you would always, in the Western world, you would say 5. Here it was kind of, they expected you to make money immediately. But I thought, in my silly mind, and this is the good thing when you start a company, you need to be a little bit stupid. Because if you knew how much pain you have in front of you, you don't do it. So first, when you're looking for money, you think that when you just got the money, everything's fine. But actually, if you survive that first part, so you get money, the second part is going to get worse. So I think you need to go through that first part where you get the door in your face, people saying no, no, no. And if you don't survive that part, you will not survive the next one, which is actually build your company, which is 10 times worse than you ever think. And then when you've gone through that phase, you need to, so you're basically starting as an entrepreneur, that's free of charge. You get that title when you get the money. Then you have to become a manager. And then you have evolved into a leader. Otherwise, you're going to lose your company on the road. And most people don't, you know, some people are just born to be entrepreneurs and they stay in that. Then they need to understand they should hire managers. And that's a hard part because it's your baby. So you don't want to give it away. So you need to evolve from that to a manager. And at some stage you need to evolve from that managing to leader. So the manager is running your company and you do what you're best at, which is actually back to when you were an entrepreneur. You dreams and you can take things further. And that's a process that most people don't do.